I haven't done a lapidary video in a while, so I thought I would do one. Recently, over the last summer, there was a local rock shop that had a liquidation sale because they were closing down, and I had the chance to visit twice and get a bunch of material and mineral specimens for my collection. Actually, link in the description below to those videos, and I'll just quickly show you guys what I'm going to be working on in this video. So I got a Ziploc bag full of Botswana agates. For those who know what Botswana agates, you'll know why they're such a sought after agate. But for those who don't know, Botswana agates are a rare agate that comes out of Botswana, hence the name. And they're known for having really nice fortification banding and some unique coloration in that fortification banding. You'll get like some nice grays and whites, but then you also get like pinks and reds mixed in there, and oranges and like blues sometimes from what I've heard, or purples. So it makes them very interesting to cut and polish, and I just got lucky enough to find a box of them kind of stashed in a corner when I was at that shop. The shop itself actually had like a back area outside where they just had rock piles and like these outdoor shelves. And stashed in the corner of one of the shelves in the back was a very cobweb-filled box of Botswana agates, and I decided to take them all since it was a really good deal. I got these for basically like nothing. And I will actually show you now a couple of the ones I plan on working on today in the video. Here are the 3 Botswanas I plan to work on. They all have some very nice fortifications and colorations. All of them kind of have like that pinkish red coloration that I like in these. And I will be trimming these guys up. This one's going to have to lose a decent amount. But I'm going to be trimming these guys up so that they can get a nice polish on my flat lap. As I cut these Botswana agates and polish them up, I thought I would just kind of talk about some interesting facts about Botswana agates, and also kind of Botswana in general. Starting with the nation of Botswana itself, a couple hundred years ago, in the late 19th century, Botswana actually became a colony of the British. More specifically, the Bechuanaland Protectorate. They only gained independence in 1966, in fact. Now, their geology actually plays a very important role in their economy. Even very recently, Botswana was considered one of the leading global producers of diamonds due to the fact that they had a large amount of kimberlite pipes. And kimberlite it's an igneous rock that is known to be diamond bearing, or can be diamond bearing. They also mine various types of metals, including gold and copper. Along with those metals, they also mine agate, i.e. Botswana agate, and this agate does play an important economic role in Botswana itself. Now, when trying to find facts for Botswana agates, I struggled a bit because almost everything that is on like the front page of Google and like even the next couple pages is like metaphysical stuff. And no offense to those kinds of folks, but that just ain't my cup of tea. It's not what I'm interested in, and I don't really believe in that. Well, I don't believe in that stuff at all. No offense to those folks. You can do whatever you want. But it was a bit frustrating to try and find some like scientific facts. Finally, I found like some little blurbs about how they formed. Now, with Botswana agates, their formation occurred due to multiple generations of slow-flowing lava. And basically, these slow-flowing lava flows deposited the chalcedony over multiple generations, which is what causes the bandings and the fortifications. And that was about as much as I could come up with for facts about Botswana agates. There wasn't a lot of scientific stuff out there. It was mostly just metaphysical stuff, which was a bit frustrating. But hey, what can you do? Like, that's what Google is pushing, unfortunately, and so that's what we have to deal with. Anyways, with my rant over, I thought I'd also, just as a bonus, I'd show a chunk of fire seam agate from the Canadian East Coast that I also polished up at the same time as these Botswana agates. This is a chunk of flame seam agate that I got last year during the summer at a local rock shop that was closing down. It was a small chunk, and I thought I would polish it along with the Botswanas. One thing to note, you can kind of see that there's some spots where I haven't gone deep enough, and I'm doing that intentionally because there's not a lot of material on this guy. You can see he's quite thin, so I want to try and save as much as this awesome flame pattern that you guys can see as possible. And so I am accepting a couple imperfections in the final polished product to get that. With this fire seam agate, it comes from the Canadian East Coast, more specifically the province of Nova Scotia. And Nova Scotia is well known for its seam agate, actually. It produces a whole wide array of very unique and cool looking seam agates. And actually, if you're interested in seeing some of those, I would recommend this rockhounding channel called Rockhounding Life. This channel, these guys, they go out and do a lot of agate collecting, and they get to collect a lot of the very cool seam agates that come out of Nova Scotia. So I'd recommend checking them out. I'll put a link in the description below. Most of you guys probably know who they are, but if you didn't, then go check them out. They're definitely a cool channel to check out, and you'll get to see some really cool seam agates along with some other awesome things that they find in Nova Scotia. Here's the final product for the 3 Botswanas I chose to polish. Here's the first guy. Maybe like 1 or 2 small tiny scratches that I did not get out. It's a very nice, it's got very nice, lovely fortifications and coloration. Like, those fortifications are super nice and sharp, and there's a lot of them. And on the bonus, it's got some interesting kind of pseudomorphy kind of mineral growth at the bottom. I'll try and actually take a zoomed in picture with my electrical microscope and see if I can get a nice zoomed in picture of that little feature at the bottom, because I think that would be pretty cool to see up close. Next we have this guy, which is kind of got like half fortifications, and then they kind of trail out and disappear. And it's got some nice like pinkish red in there. And it's just a very nice piece. And same with this guy. This guy I was worried, actually, because in this section at the beginning, when I was on the higher grits in the middle section where there's that nice fortification and that thick like dark pink band, there was like these little pock marks all around it. And as you can see, they're not there anymore, which is good. But there are some very interesting like white spheres in there, and that's another thing I'll try and get a good magnification on. This one's kind of cool because the banding, the fortification is a lot faint, but then on this side, you can see there's tons of like little fortification bands. But this one is just, the color is great, like that big thick band in the middle, the pink band, and then it surrounds kind of the bluish gray material. It's very cool. Here's the flame seam agate. This is the really nice side with the really good flames. You can see that. It's got some lovely white red and yellow kind of flame patterns on it. It's kind of like an awkward polish because it wasn't a well-shaped raw piece in the first place. You can see there's a bunch of like pock marks, and then there's this softer matrix that didn't polish up as well. There's another pock mark. So it wasn't really a big piece to start with, and I couldn't remove a lot of material, especially on this side. I didn't want to lose this pattern. Like, I really like this pattern, so I kept that mark, that ding there basically, and just said that's okay. I'm good with that. It's still a lovely little example of East Coast flame agate. This backside is different. I wouldn't say as exciting, but still cool. Very cool. Great colors. Personally, I like this side more. Kind of with the clear chalcedony in the middle. And it allows kind of the reds and the yellows and the more milky white to like create those awesome flame patterns. We have gotten to the end of this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you've gotten this far, thanks. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. That really helps out my channel. This channel's totally just supported by an awesome community, and the only reason I've been able to get this far is because of subscribers and supporters supporting my channel and liking my content. So I want to just thank you if you do that. And if you enjoy other style videos that you've seen me do before, I do kind of like an eclectic mix of stuff. All kind of rock related, rockhounding, lapidary, some flint napping, some arrowhead hunting, all that kind of stuff. So if any of those are your cup of tea, please do stick around, and you might see some of those videos in the future, especially hopefully in the springtime when things warm up. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.